Hello Karen, hello Guillaume. Very nice to see you too.
Hello, Alex.
Hello, nice to meet
So
you.
nice to meet. Yes, a pleasure to have you in this talk, ambassador talk. We met many months ago now. You were here at the first Between Lines exhibition at the opening of Les Arras. I think you were the first guest, right? So it was
Yes,
a really good
we remember. It's
good
a
meeting, and since we had tons of incredible conversations. So the idea is to introduce you to the community that follows the project, and they discovered your few lines of presentation as an ambassador that you are, and the idea is to know more about you. We have 10 minutes to talk. So who you are, please feel free to tell to everybody.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Alex. And we are really exciting to talk with you. And yes, we were, I think, the first guest at the night in Barcelona, and it was so great. So we are Karen and Guillaume. And first of all, I think we have to say that we are partner in business, but also in life. And this is really interesting. We founded Doors3 last year, and it's the first consulting company specialized in Web3. And we help a lot of brands from sports, entertainment, luxury, or like tech and services to go to the Web3 ecosystem and develop a lot of activations like NFT drop, fan token, metaverse, cryptocurrencies. And we also are passionate, yes, about Web3 for many years. And maybe Guillaume can tell you what are our value and DNA.
Yes. We founded Doors3 and also Doorsport, which is the agency specialized in sport, and we really, I think we are very passionate about the Web3 values, and also the fact that we are in an ecosystem about innovation, but also an ecosystem that is moving very fast and that is demanding to be very, I think, and we try to be as much as we can very humble towards the technology that we are part of inside the Web3, because something that can be true one day won't be true the next day, because everything is evolving so fast, and we need with Doors3 and Doorsport to be at the edge of what is the next innovation in order to go with our clients into the next big thing actually, and it's moving so fast that we need to really anticipate. And what we like as ambassador for In Between Lines is the fact that I think you are one of the projects that really goes into the edge of the innovation, and into the not just doing the classic NFT drop or something like this, but really going into what could be the next evolution of the next big trend inside the Web3.
Thank you for your word. Very clear. And yes, because that's where we meet. I think our view meets is that we use and we love our technology. And you talk about innovation because it's central. It's not an end. It's not innovation at the end, but always as a tool. And that's your consultant side that the approach that I really like, and that we don't speak a lot. We don't talk a lot about in the space is the perpetual seek of use cases, and how the technology and how blockchain, Web3, tech as a tool in creative process, if we talk about tech art, but in general, can serve a real use case for clients, for user, for beholder. If we talk about art, so what is? I'm curious to have a consultant view about what is tech art for you. We see that there is no real definition about art, but maybe tech art. What is your own definition?
Yes, this is a good question. I think first, we are also art lover, so we love a lot of artists, design, architecture, a lot of art, because I think art is a huge name also. And for us, tech art is really the link between digital and artistic image, and it's the way that you can bring an artist or an image or a video in the digital space. And I think if you take the example of Beeple or other example, you can see that finally it's a simple art, but it's just augmented with the digital ecosystem. And I think this is one of the definition of tech art, but it's also how you can live a new experience with art, how you can see a lot of things. Like I think in Between Lines, it's this is what we like first, because you see a first image, but also after you see other image, because yes, it's really impressive and interesting of tech art.
And to continue on this idea, I think that with the evolution of the Web3 ecosystem, what is really interesting is to have like artists using really the technology to create art. And I think that's a huge philosophical change inside the. I'm not specialist in art history, but I've seen an article that was saying something like. You before you could not consider art something that is not made from the end of the artist, and actually with the development of Web3, there are some creation that are generated from like a computer, but I think what's very important, even if we talk about tech art, is that there is still an artist behind the computer. I think there are some philosophical question about that, like can a computer itself create art? I think that's
yes, and a computer works with human, and I remember in old times I was at university studying mathematics and engineering, so the teacher telling there is nothing, nothing, say, no one or nothing more stupid than a computer, because it executes it. So we talk about creative technology, generative IA, but I think it's all about to see the link with human and the tool they created for creative ends. So we inject, for example, that's a question that we can be posed, like what about the determinism of art? Art has to be or not determinist. We see that we can inject some randomized views, etc. But I think the real important thing, the technology, that it serves experiences, and I think that's very new with Web3, because you can onboard a community and build with. So co-creation, the inverse value chain creation of Web3 allows a lot of things, and I'm very curious to know, because you have the view of institutional, I guess, clients. As you work with companies, and I think that's very interesting to hear about their vision. What do you see at your clients, the will to explore digital and to physical, reconciliate maybe both types of experience for their clients? What's the...
Yes. What we see that today a lot of big organizations are not ready to go to the Web3, really Web3. They already go to the Web 2.5, I think. And it's also because a lot of people don't think that it's just digital, and they think that digital will have to go with physical. And I think it's our conviction also, because if you take some NFTs, for example, I think that digital art or like collectibles NFT are great, but they give a big experience or emotions for people if they are linked with a physical object. Or maybe you can just have digital NFTs, but have like a physical totem, for example, in a supermarket. I remember the experience of Monoprix, and I think it was just incredible for people to know more about Web3 and NFTs and to see physically something. So yes, we think that today digital goes with physical, and physical will goes with digital. And maybe tomorrow we will not speak about Web3, but just experience or sensations or emotions. And yes, we see that our clients in sports, but also luxury and entertainment, love this link between physical and.
And I think it's really needed it's really needed for the mainstream adoption of those new technologies to have a digital object, but that you can relay with a physical one. I think it's kind of essential, because when we talk about institutions and big companies that want to go into Web3, people that take decision, first question is, we see NFT, but for us it doesn't exist. We don't know where it lives. They have this impression that it lives in another world, and it's impossible to touch it. And the fact, actually, I remember this idea. Like, there was someone at the beginning of Bitcoin. He created like a physical pieces of Bitcoin representing like a Bitcoin wallet, and on it there was the equivalent of 1 Bitcoin, but there was like a physical representation. And I think it's essential in the way I think our brain works, to have like an object, but with the physical representation as well, or at least an experience associated.
Yeah, very clear. So yes, what I see is that as well for individual, because we talk about art and what we want in art experience as a collector, as an artist also. But for final clients of business that want to explore the possibilities of Web3, it's all about complementarity of experience that we can see between physical and digital, and complementarity of service, of experience. So how do you see, so the 1 million Tezos question, I say Tezos, where do you see Web3 in 5 years? I mean, companies in Web3 in 5 years, like big adoption?
Yes, I think in 5 years there will be a first adoption, maybe not really big, but a first. I think a lot of companies will have deployed some projects around NFTs, around tokenization, maybe also around metaverse, and I think that metaverse will be mature later than 5 years. And I think also that in 5 years we will not talk about NFTs, fan token, metaverse, but just around new experiences, new link for customer, and a new way of life, maybe, and way of of living like a brand, for example. And I think that if Mark Zuckerberg says that Meta will be mature like in 5 or 10 years, it's I think it's real, because we see that, yes, big companies want to go in this ecosystem, but they are not really ready, and it's just a time of test and learn today. But we will build, and we will build strong ecosystem and strong value to definitely develop a digital transformation for tomorrow.
Okay, so companies, by exploring Web3, are still in the building phase, exploring phase. They have not taken yet really economical advantage of it, but they are actually, we can say that it's the big companies that are building the general use, and that will drive the massive adoption, because they are full over there. Yeah.
Yes, we think that they will drive it, and today I think we can see a different type of actors, because you have big companies that are in a phase like of test and learn, and they just ask them what we want to be in the Web3 and what we want to develop. You have also startups like you or Pirates, who are building a strong ecosystem, and you have little company who just are seeing this ecosystem and who don't know how to do it. So yes, I think in 5 years there will be a lot of companies and a lot of entrepreneurs also go in this ecosystem. But I think we have to build this ecosystem with our DNA that we told in the beginning of our talk, and also with humility with technology, because we think that maybe in 5 years a lot of use case will be new, and maybe today we don't imagine what we can build in 5 years.
Yes, how to use technology, blockchain and NFTs, if we talk about NFTs, as an enabling tool. And I like to say that a project, whether in art or anything, has to, by default, the use of NFTs, the added value of NFTs has to be proven, and it's very easy to justify the value and the generated by a project using NFT just by the explanation of the use case and what is possible. So I think you are the center, and you are, I think the word builder, in your case, builders with a S for you too, has a lot of meaning, because you are totally at the center of it, working with institutional business and companies. And that's a real pleasure to have you in this kind of conversation that we will, I guess, continue the next time we see, either digital and or physical.
Yeah.
One word to conclude. Just one.
Thank you. Really happy to be ambassador of Between Lines, and yes, it's a project we like and we love, and we are really excited to see the next chapter.
Cool. Guillaume?
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with you today, and I'm sure for the last answer, I'm sure in next 5 years we will have more concept again, but definitely more concept around use cases and less around technology, but it will be definitely focused on use cases and how you leverage this amazing technology.
Perfect. Thank you to you too. It was a real pleasure, and
thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Bye.